Oh, he's right behind me, isn't he? Hello everyone and welcome. Today we answer the question, can you beat Sons of the Forest with only explosions and fire? Edward Puffington. 31 weeks missing? Oh, he dead AF. So this is some kind of resort, right? Why are we— oh god, we're going down. Mayday, mayday! Hey man, how's it going? Yeah, I'm just, hanging around. Okay, the joke wasn't that bad, come on. Alright, we are in it. First things first, let's help our buddy Celsius up. Second thing to do is rummage through the crash site for anything useful, and by that I mean pick up anything that isn't nailed down. Which is, everything, because this is a forest. Immediately I find what will serve as my primary damage source for the whole run. Grenades. There are a couple of other things I can use, but of all my options, these are the easiest to get a hold of if you can believe it. Now I have to figure out where to set up shelter, and if I'm already living the fantasy of being on a tropical island, why not full send it and give myself a beachfront property? So, while I'm chopping down some trees, I might as well explain the actual challenge, because that axe is most definitely not exploding, nor on fire. I'm only allowing myself to do damage with those things, so while it is definitely possible to be the world's most bombastic lumberjack, there's no real reason to. After doing the completely realistic task of chopping down about 10 trees and constructing a whole log cabin in one afternoon, I build the world's most uncomfortable looking bed and get a better night's sleep than I ever have in real life. Waking up, I'm starved and thirsty, so it's time to do the actual survival part of this survival game. Nearby, I can get some delicious stream water, then chase that with an MRE, which is fine for now, but I'm definitely going to need more food if I want to survive, so it's time to go hunting. Now, you're probably wondering, how does one hunt with grenades? Very effectively. I could just start a fire and quickly have some cooked deer, but food lasts longer if it's dried. I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but it's true for this game, so I build a drying rack and throw my meat on it. The downside to this method is it takes much longer for it to finish cooking, and that's fine, there's enough random scraps around the island to sustain me until then. Waking up the next day, I go rummage through the magically refilling containers at the nearby camp, then decide to give my house a nice little planter. You know, to make it feel a little more like home and give Fahrenheit over there something to eat while I'm gone. All that hard work made me tired, so I did the only logical thing here. I ate an energy bar. I am the epitome of health. So the first actual thing to do on today's agenda, head into a nearby cave. The cave systems in the first forest were where the game shifted from survival into horror, and it's no different this time. Lots of terrifying mutants roam these caves, and all I have to defend myself are grenades. A lot less scary when you can just blow them to smithereens. I also started to craft the Molotovs here for the fire damage. Unfortunately, they aren't that powerful, and it usually requires at least 2 to down an enemy, but it's a lot easier to find alcohol and rags than anything needed for the time bombs. Eventually, I find the rebreather, one of like 6 or so necessary items. Also, the game definitely wants you to exit via this pool of water here, but there's a shark in there, and I've seen Jaws, so how about no? I wanted to get more food without expending any resources, so I decided to build a fish trap, but I don't know exactly how they work, so I just plopped one down in the ocean. I mean, there's fish in the ocean. Probably. Next morning, I wake up and have the breakfast of champions. Uncooked ramen noodles and stream water. Before taking on any more caves, I decided it would be smart to explore around a bit, and that's when I happened upon this camp with some, probably, friendly locals. It's okay. I mean you no harm. Now excuse me while I steal all your shit. Wow, they didn't mind that I took everything they had. Cool. To end the day, I thought I'd build a nice little table and bench to enjoy my view. The following morning, I check and see that my fish traps provided the bountiful harvest of exactly 0 fish, so I head back into the woods for my second splunking expedition. Fortunately, the cave I'm headed to is right next to the helicopter crash, so I re-loot these magical containers for some sweet explosives before heading in. Up until now, I've done pretty well at avoiding conflict. It's pretty easy to just run away from enemies, even in caves if you know where you're going. Which I don't. This big room, however, is the first time I felt like I had to fight something. There are 3-ish cave cannibals here, and they can move pretty fast when they want to, and I don't have any armor, so they kinda hurt. Fortunately, I can turn them into walking light sources with Molotovs, but like I said earlier, one is not enough to finish them off, but that's okay because I heard they like pineapple. A little further into the cave, I get to Sluggy. Now, Sluggy here is actually the reason I decided to do explosives only. I don't know if there's any way around this enemy without blowing him up. I had originally thought about doing a starting knife only challenge, which would limit me in a lot of ways, like not being able to cut down my own trees, but I didn't want to have to find some way around the 2 Sluggy encounters, so here we are. Anyway, the game conveniently puts explosives right next to him, so... At this point, I am starting to have dwindling supplies though, so I decided to do something I don't usually do in games. Be stealthy. This isn't your average everyday darkness. This is advanced darkness. In the end, I find my reward, the rope gun. Maybe it's friendly? Not friendly, not friendly! Emerging back out into the world, it's already 4 p.m, meaning it will definitely be dark by the time I get back. I didn't edit this. When this game wants to be dark, it gets dark. You know what would be cool in the worst possible way? If they added some kind of nocturnal Giga Hunter mutant that tracks you, and if you aren't near light or a safe house, it just demolishes you. The next morning, our lovely neighbor Virginia wanted to give me a present, but Newton over there scared her off, so I did what I always do when I'm sad. Devour dried meat that is stored literally under the raw meat. Gordon Ramsay would be so proud. With my daily necessities taken care of, it's off for a new adventure. Hey buddy, I don't think that's how you're supposed to swim. Also, did it really just show the drink icon next to a dead body floating in water? I mean, I'm no doctor, but that doesn't seem like a smart idea. Yes, everyone knows 3 dead guys means welcome, but if it's only 1 or 2, it means they're not raiding. You gotta come back later. Oh, hey, yeah, you come here often, or, So this cave has a lot of enemies, but it also has a lot of knee-high water, their one weakness. Well, that and explosions, but water is much more abundant. This one thinks it's smart running away from the water, but can he run away from fire? Running past copious amounts of babies, I eventually get to the shovel. Why I can't just dig with my hands, I'll never know, but that's okay. Emerging from the cave, it is night, so against my better judgment, I set up a makeshift tent and rest. Ah, such a lovely morning. The birds are chirping and the cannibals are screaming. Probably shouldn't stick around for breakfast. Wedgwood, I know you've been working so hard, so how about you take a break? And make sure you give me a 5-star best employee review ever on Glassdoor, would ya? Thanks, bud. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go dig a hole or something. Definitely not related to you. Whew, they really made this look easy in the Holes movie. Maintenance. What do you think that means? Okay, I don't know how long everyone's been dead, but I'd assume about 31 weeks, and if this Roomba has been going for that long, it's the real MVP. Well, now I just feel like kind of a dick. I 3D print the flask because God knows I need a drink after all this, and grab what I really came here for, this key card. Back at the house, I decided to build a lookout tower for fun, but before it was finished, I had some unexpected company. If only I had some sort of tower with which to look out from to see this threat coming. That's, my house, but yeah, I guess you can go inside. Yeah, okay, I don't want to mess with physics-destroying cannibals, thank you. Now listen, I have only set your cave-dwelling cousins and your children on fire. Never you. You have no beef with me. Fortunately, our guest realized I was packing a small army's worth of explosives and headed off, which was great because I had to get ready for my date with Virginia. So, you come to this side of the island often, or... No, yeah, I'm sure Rankin will be here soon with our cannibal leg stew. I've heard it's to die for. The next morning, I finished the lookout tower. Alrighty then. That's not a chair. You know what? You're living your best life. It's alright. These fish traps are actually useless. Okay, next excursion is to the food and dining bunker, which is great. I'm getting tired of eating ramen and alcohol. You know what? Maybe I'll stick to the ramen and alcohol. Oh, I didn't think that through. Perhaps I shouldn't use fire next to the plants. Hello? Is anyone? Oh god! This area is actually pretty sparse on enemies, so after a neat little hallway swim, I grabbed the VIP card and that's it. I'm basically in the endgame now, but there is one more trip I want to make before finishing. Thanks, game, for the dramatic reveal of leaves. Virginia, a gift for me? You shouldn't have. Actually, I got you something too. First, a pretty sundress, but more importantly, a shotgun. It's how we say I love you in American. With that, I sit down and rest knowing this journey is almost over. Virginia, hold down the fort, okay? I'm off to save some rich, probably dead guy. Wow, that is a nice golf course. Now how the hell do I get down from here? Man, this fairway's looking a little rough. I'm sorry. A door with a prompt, that's new. I wonder what's in here. Oh, hello, stranger. That doesn't count. Or that. Oh, great throw, a-hole. Now we're both gonna die. So while this bunker is well lit, making it easy to see any threat, it's also incredibly claustrophobic, and that's pretty not great for how we fight. In fact, I even set myself on fire at one point, but it's okay. I see worse burns every day in my YouTube comment section. Ha ha. Ha. Anyway, the only thing I came here for was the golden armor because I fashion forced. Franklin, thanks for seeing me off to the final bunker. You know, I know something terrible happened, but this underground bunker is swanky. Whoever lived here must have had at least $8. There's something funny about my character just picking up and yeeting a shotgun. Like, after everything he's seen, you'd think he'd want to hold on to it for dear life. Equipping the golden armor, I open the weird big metal door that definitely should never be opened, but it's fine, I'm wearing actual plot armor. Now down here, there's a new enemy, just straight up a demon. But if Doom taught me anything, demons hate grenades. Unfortunately, I only have one, so I have to fall back on the tried and true, the power of Christ compels you. I'd like you all to know that I added the "and fire" part of this challenge just to make that joke. Pressing deeper and deeper into what I can only assume is literal hell, I find a funny metal box and a complete stranger. Seriously, who are you? Listen, anything that you basically full screen a timer for can't be good, so what's it about? Yes, the rumored Daughters of the City expansion. The final decision to stay or to leave. What are you, joking? Get me the hell out of here. And with that, we have survived Sons of the Forest. Thanks for sticking by my side, Kevin. Thank you everyone for watching, and an extra special thanks to my patrons. Stay beautiful, y'all. If you liked the video, please consider giving a like and subscribing. It would really help the channel out, but until next time, my friends, don't you dare go cannibalistic.